In Los Angeles, several white police officers used excessive force against a black man, leaving him with multiple injuries. The man filed a lawsuit in local court, but the officers were acquitted. Around the same time, a young black girl was shot and killed in a Korean-owned store. When police arrived, she had already stopped breathing. The Korean store owner was charged and the jury found him guilty of voluntary manslaughter, which carried a maximum sentence of 16 years. However, in a surprising turn, the judge sentenced him to just 5 years probation and a $500 fine with no jail time. These two incidents sparked protests from the black community over what they saw as racial injustice, but the protests quickly spiraled into riots. The anger turned toward Asian communities, particularly Korean businesses. Looters targeted Korean stores, and when owners tried to recover their stolen goods, they were often met with gang threats. This emboldened more people to brazenly walk into Asian-owned stores and take whatever they wanted, filling their arms before walking out without any fear of consequences. Initially, Korean store owners tried calling the police and attempting dialogue, choosing patience over confrontation. But as the violence escalated, rioters began destroying and burning businesses. Over 2,000 Asian-owned stores were torched. Many Asian families fled the area, while the police seemed reluctant to intervene. The riots intensified dramatically. On April 29, 1992, mobs began attacking vehicles on the streets. The violence continued around the clock. As chaos engulfed the city, LA's limited police force was deployed primarily to Beverly Hills to protect the wealthy neighborhoods. With law enforcement absent, the situation spiraled completely out of control across Los Angeles. Under the cover of protest, looters set their sights on the relatively prosperous Koreatown. They ransacked Korean restaurants, clothing stores, and supermarkets without restraint. The Korean Americans who remained had no choice but to fight back. They quickly organized an armed defense force. Some stood guard at intersections, using radios to report any suspicious activity. Others positioned themselves on rooftops as snipers, ready to defend their community. Every corner of Koreatown was protected, with defenders creating an impenetrable perimeter. By the fourth day, when the riots spread to white neighborhoods, authorities finally deployed over 10,000 military and police personnel to restore order. In the end, 6,000 buildings were destroyed, over 20,000 people were arrested, and 63 people died. Of those 63 deaths, 62 were rioters, with only one Korean defender among the casualties. Looking back at the full context, the black driver who was beaten by police had been driving drunk, resisting arrest, and assaulting officers. The widely circulated video had been edited to show only the beating, not what led up to it. The young black girl who was shot had been caught shoplifting. When the store owner confronted her about stealing, she punched the owner twice, prompting the owner to defend herself, all of which was captured on security cameras. Everyone has the right to protest, but when protests turn into riots that harm innocent people, we have to question whether such violence can ever be justified. Today's Los Angeles seems to be witnessing history repeat itself. Hopefully, those innocent people under threat can defend their lives and property with the same courage as those Korean Americans on the rooftops.